Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Heretic Yugioh deck profile for post Dual Power. With the release of Dual Power, we were given the Heretic Link monster, which I know a lot of people were waiting for, one of them being my friend Anthony. Big thanks to him for letting me use his Heretic deck for the profile. It's a really fun deck. For those of you that don't remember what Heretics are, they were dragon monsters that tributed themselves to special summon other dragon monsters, then you use them for exceed summons just to really spam out dragons very fast to the field and then attack your opponent for big numbers as well. And with the release of the Link monster, they got some of their power back, because with Link format they were really limited to just how many dragons you could get out from the extra deck to the field. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the Heretic monsters, I run 3 Heretic Dragon of Tefnuit. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. This card cannot attack the turn it is special summoned this way, and when this card is tributed, you can special summon 1 dragon normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and make its attack and defense 0. So, like I said, that's the main point of the Heretic monsters, being able to summon themselves out very quickly for the tributes, and Tefnuit onto the field for a special summon means you don't have to waste your normal summon for this card. Then you can just tribute this for another higher level Heretic monster if you need to. 3 of this is definitely needed in the deck just for its easy special summon, and you want to be able to open this early game if you aren't able to search it. I also run 3 Heretic Dragon of Su. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 1 Heretic monster, and once per turn you can tribute 1 Heretic monster except this card from your hand or your side of the field to target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy that. And when this card is tributed, you can special summon 1 dragon type normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, but make its attack and defense 0. So just a good way to destroy your opponent's spell and traps. The fact that you special summon Su and not normal summon it is also very, very good for the deck, so you don't waste your normal summons. So if you get this and Tefnuit in your hand, you have some plays to go with already for the deck. And then the requirements for the Heretic Link monster are only 2 dragons, so very easy. Requirements are set there as well. I also run 3 Heretic Dragon of Aset. With this one, you can normal summon this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 1000, and once per turn you can target 1 face-up dragon normal monster on the field. The levels of all face-up Heretic monsters currently on the field become the level of that monster, and until the end phase, when this card is tributed, special summon 1 normal type monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, but make its attack and defense 0. So you just have adjustments with this card. The normal summon, most of the time with these Heretic attack and defenses changing to 0, you're not really worried because you're going to use them for extra deck plays, so their low attack isn't a concern at all with the deck. But 3S it just for the fact that it's an easy normal summon, and then you can make use of the normal monsters on the field as well. I also run 1 Heretic Dragon of Nefet. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 1 Heretic monster, and you can tribute 1 Heretic monster except this card from your hand or your side of the field to target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy that target, and when this card is tributed, special summon 1 dragon normal monster from your hand, a deck, or graveyard, and make its attack and defense 0. So you just have more options for the special summon with this card. Works really well with a set on the field also. So just the 1 though, it's not the easy normal summon take, and also just getting Su and Tefnuit on the field means you have more plays for some of your bigger exceed monsters for the deck as well. For example, King of a Tomb, which we'll get to more when we go over the extra deck. And for some of the other lower level Heretics, I run 3 Heretic Dragon of Nuit. Once per turn during either player's turn, when this face-up card is on the field is targeted by a spell or trap or a card effect, you special summon 1 dragon normal type monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard and make its attack and defense 0. So also the fact that all the Heretic monsters can special summon them from the hand, deck, or graveyard means you have different options with your monsters for special summoning them out, depending on just when you obviously special summon them previously during the game. But Nuit, with all the other cards you run in the deck, just means you have more special summon options to go for. And some of the lower level Heretic monsters that I do run means that I'm also able to use the Guard Dragon engine in the deck as well to make use of for your plays and just easier ways to summon out some of your dragon monsters. I also run one Heretic Dragon of Gebeb. When it destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, special summon one Dragon-type normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and make its attack and defense 0. And when this card is tributed, you special summon one Heretic normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So you have more special summon options when this card is tributed, but also good pressure for being an 1800 attack monster against your opponent and taking care of some of their other monsters. If you just didn't have any other plays to go for, this one card search can definitely help for those destruction plays. And then for the normal monsters, I run two Wattail Dragon, one Galaxy Serpent, and one Alexandrite Dragon. I run just a different variety level of monsters, 6, 2, and 4. You have all the options to search and special summon them from different places in the deck. If you didn't want to run the Wattail Dragon, you can also try putting in the Laboradite Dragon, which is a level 6 tuner normal monster. This one, a little more easier, I would say, to access, plus most of the time, you're not going to be going for Synchros, you're going to be going for Exceeds or Link plays with the deck. If you want it easier ones, you could also just use Galaxy Serpent with your level 6 monsters, which we'll get to with the extra deck more later on also. But you just want a good lineup of normal monsters to summon out with these cards, just so you always have options to go for from your deck. But I figure any more than this number, and you'll just end up drawing more and more normal monsters and make it more difficult to summon out some of your other options. But with the higher level ones, at least, if you tribute them out when using a Heretic monster, you'll get the special summon as well. And for some of the other generic dragon support, I run two Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. Just with the fact that all the dragons that we've showed so far are light, it's an easy special summon. And then also just the one Wyver Buster to search. I only run the one because it only really works with Collapse Serpent or the other dragons we run. Not so much the other heretics in the deck, for the fact that you can just easily banish for Collapse Serpent, but you really don't have any other options with Wyver Buster aside from the other two, which I don't really want to banish these. Most of the time I'll just use Collapse Serpent. But one Destrudo and one Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, easy special summons with Darkness Metal especially, and Destrudo just gives you that additional dragon on the field, and you have plenty of other heretics to lower the levels of with this card also. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I run 3 Heretic Seal of Convocation. You add 1 Heretic monster from your deck to your hand. Standard search for the deck. Just the fact that you can grab whatever you need for the situation. Most of the time I end up going for Tefnuit because I'll have the other ones in my hand. This card's not even a once per turn, so if you open up all of them, you have plenty of search options to go for. I also run 3 Heretic Seal of Supremacy. You special summon 1 Heretic monster from your hand, so depending on what you search, you could just have easier ways to get out monsters to the field and faster means, if you don't want to go for the tributes just yet, to go for your Heavenly Sphere and then rely on the tributes you do later on with the arrows pointing with Heavenly Sphere as well. I also run 2 Celestial Observatory. You place 1 level 6 monster from your hand or face up on the field on the bottom of the deck and draw 2 cards. You can only activate 1 Celestial Observatory per turn. It's just draw power, especially when I open up my Wattail Dragon. I don't really want this in my hand. I want more usable cards, so just being able to put it back for draw power, and the fact you place it on the bottom of the deck means, less chance of you drawing the card, obviously, since you don't shuffle the deck with this card also. And for more of the Guard Dragon support, I run 2 World Legacy Guard Dragon. We run a good amount of low-level dragons in the deck. I only run 2 of this card, though. The special summon does come in handy just for more resources, but I still run a good amount of higher-level ones, which is why I didn't decide to run this at 3 in the deck, but I still like that option to also be able to move some of my other dragon monsters to other spots on the field to use in better positions with Link monsters. And for a couple one-ofs, I run 1 Transmodify and 1 Downbeat, just more level adjustment if I'm short 1 specific monster 4, and Exceed play. This one definitely does help for that, along with Downbeat, just the level adjustment for specific ones you want to go for. And I also run 1 Foolish Burial and 1 Dragon Shrine, just works well with most of the dragons, especially Destrudo, just setting up in the graveyard for your special summon plays. And I also run 1 Dragon's Mirror, this card for special summoning out your big dragon, which is the 5-headed dragon. It's a fun tech play that definitely does come in handy. You can get plenty of dragons in the graveyard, so from your field or graveyard, you remove them and special summon it out. You really can't go wrong with a 5k beater on the field. All you need is 5 dragon-type monsters to summon it out, so easily usable in the deck. And lastly, for the spells, I run 1 Monster Reborn, standard special summoning of anything from the graveyard back onto the field to use. And then for the traps, only running one trap, and it's Heretic Seal of Reflection. When a spell or trap or card or monster effect is activated, you tribute one Heretic monster, negate the activation if you do destroy it. Just a good counter trap tech I like to put in the deck to stop some of my opponent's plays. Once I set up the field with my Heretic monsters, it really does come in handy. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra. I only have one Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, sadly, at the moment. If I had more, I'll show you what monster I would take out for an additional one. You need 2 dragon monsters to make it. Once per turn, if this card in the extra monster zone, quick effect, you can tribute one monster from your hand or field, return one face-up card on the field to the hand, and if this card is tributed, special summon one dragon monster from your hand or deck, but make its attack and defense 0. You can only use the effect of Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres once per turn. So you have to remember that this card has to remain in the extra monster zone to use it, so don't move it around with cards like Guard Dragon, because then you'll just end up wasting the card. But the tributing and the bouncing definitely keeps your opponent on their toes. Just remember it's a 0 attack monster, so you don't really want to leave it on the field as well for your opponent to just run over. You want to make sure you make full use of tributing this card out for your other cards. And I also run, for the Guard Dragon lineup, 1 LP, 1 Pisty, and 1 Agripane. Pisty and LP require level 4 monsters to make them, so remember that. But Agripane just requires 2 dragon monsters, so if you can get that set up, you can have your extra deck dragon monsters out on the field very quickly, or any of the other ones that maybe got banished as well. And I also run 1 Hit Potion Engine. This potentially could come out for the Heavenly Spheres. If not him, either the Phoenix or the Cerberus as well. And I also run 1 Borreload Dragon, just a more powerful Link monster to go into when you need those options. I also run, for the Exceed monsters, 2 Heretic Dragon, King of Atum. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card to special summon 1 dragon monster from your deck, but make its attack and defense 0. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this, so just more special summon options by overlaying your 2 level 6 monsters with this card. Also 1 Gauntlet Launcher, just another level 6, rank 6, sorry about that, Exceed monster that you can go for, and then destroy your monster your opponent controls just by detaching 1. It's also not a once per turn, so you can take care of a lot of monsters with this one. And then for overlaying, still a fun tech favorite to do with Atum, when you can overlay your Thunder Charger over the monster and then just swing into your opponent's defense monsters for piercing damage. And then for the Synchro monsters, I have the 1 Stardust Charge Warrior and the Borreload Savage Dragon. Now this one definitely does come in handy with the link summoning we do with the deck now, so very handy to make use of this. The Stardust Charge with the Galaxy Serpent, both of these rely on Galaxy Serpent, or if you have Destrudo set up properly with its level and another monster on the field. But like I said, with the link monsters, a very good synchro, and then just the extra draw power with this synchro definitely does come in handy. And lastly, as we spoke before, the 5-headed dragon with the Dragon's Mirror play definitely is a fun move to do late game for sure. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, I was definitely happy that we were finally able to get the Heretic Link support. Definitely a fun deck to try out if you're a fan of dragons also. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.